This video is not intended for anyone 13 or younger. Hello viewers and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter reaction, and today we're going to be tackling chapter 282. And on the previous chapter we had the continuation of cutting back to Midoriya, Bakugo, Aizawa, and Endeavor and Gran Torino up against Shigaraki. So yeah, things were not looking so hot in the previous chapter with Gran Torino just getting Iabod thrown to death, having Shigaraki going through Gran Torino's chest, and then before that having one of his feet crushed, and basically yeah, he's basically at death's door, and Midoriya just went freaking nuts and just want to say, I'll kill him to death for killing my second master. So, will our hero succeed and stop Shigaraki? We'll just have to wait and find out as we read chapter 282. And as a reminder, remember to keep washing your hands and also keeping the party crowd low. So until then, let's dive into the chapter. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 2 simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. And right off the bat, we do not get another cover page. We just continue where we left off with Midoriya just basically pounding the tar out of a Shigaraki while Shigaraki's getting ready to fire his quirk erasing bullets he he got out. And for those people knowing, no, I didn't notice that he pulled out 2 bullets. I thought he pulled out 1. That's my count. I thought in my head it was like 1 bullet that we had to worry about. It was 2. So we continue with Midoriya's inner monologue saying, Shigaraki's definitely quicker than me, as but I'll make it so he can't escape, and put an end to him for sure. And while Midoriya still has Shigaraki covered in black whip still, and Midoriya continues saying his inner monologue saying, gotta end this fast and help Gran Torino. Sorry Midoriya, but I think Gran Torino is not gonna survive getting Ippon thrown to death, so yeah, you might be down a master. As we see, as we continue, we get multiple panels of Dragon Lady, or Rikyu, that I keep forgetting, and also getting a shot of Aizawa and Manuel and Lockdown. But as we also see the continuation of Shigaraki just going through Ryukyu's hand and having the bullet ready to fire at Aizawa. And I don't know who's speaking this, but I think whoever it is, says, he's got a deleter round. And yeah, he gets rudely, and then on the next page we see Midoriya interrupt Shigaraki's attempt to fire the bullet with his 100% Wyoming smash and just bashing his head at this point. And we get the usual title crawl of the My Hero Academia, translation by Kohei Horikoshi, translation by Cabal Cook, and lettering of John Hurt. We haven't seen those two for quite some time. And we get the chapter. Chapter number 282, which is entitled Footfall of Destruction. Yeah, that doesn't seem freaking ominous or nothing. As we quickly cut back to with Shigaraki. Oh, one of the panels is easier explained that Bakugo destroyed one of the quirk erasing bullets that Shigaraki had, so that's out of the way. We get a shot of Endeavor and then Midoriya again. And then we quickly cut back to Shigaraki with his inner monologue saying, I feel like there's nothing that can stop me now. as he tries to get out of Midoriya by biting Midoriya's hand off, but it's just easily breaks his teeth. And we get more of Shigaraki's dialogue as Shigaraki just shoots the Quark erasing bullet that went through Ryukyu's hand from the previous chapter, saying, "As long as I keep my dreams, my origin, within my heart." And on the next page, we get, oh god, no! As we see, the Quark erasing bullet does come out, and it does hit Aizawa in the leg, on his right leg. So yeah, there. Oh great. Now Shigaraki's gotta get all of his power back. And Aizawa was the only thing keeping Shigaraki mortal, so yeah, our heroes are basically fucked. And let's get ready for the giant massacre that's yet to come, with Shigaraki being all pleased and happy. But on the next page, we see Aizawa pulling out his knife while getting a flashback to, I think it was Bakugo saying he said he's got a deleter round. Oh, but I'm easily corrected because Aizawa says in his inner monologue saying, "That's all I need to hear, Rikyu." And that was Rikyu talking. As we get a flashback of Eri, with Aizawa being with Eri at the school. And Aizawa continues saying, "Thank you. Thanks to your warning, I can handle this, nice and rationally, without hesitation." What has he got to do with the knife? He's kind of boned at this no Quark erasing bullet. So on the next page, we see what Aizawa's trying to do with the knife, but Lockdown and Manuel are taking Aizawa away, while we have Shigaraki's inner monologue continuing with Shigaraki's dialogue saying, "You really are pretty good, pretty cool, Eraser. But even you are bound to flinch." And we see in the artwork he did technically blink on one of his eyes, but that wouldn't count, right? But we also get a giant explosion on the next page, and we see Midoriya flying off Shigaraki. And Midoriya's inner monologue kicks in, saying he used a shockwave to propel himself away. But Midoriya quickly uses Black Whip to still keep up with Shigaraki still tied to him with a whoosh. So moving on to the next page, we see on the next page. Oh, wait. If I go on the previous page, we see what Aizawa did, and oh my god, he cut his own goddamn leg off with the knife. Oh god, it looks like Aizawa's going to need a replacement robot leg. I mean, look at the economy for all the animatronic robo parts for like Mr. Compress and now Aizawa, and probably much. And Mukuro's going to get a huge bunch of robo parts to make up for it. But back to where we are after that little correction. We see the big explosion that's set off by Shigaraki flings away Rikyu away and almost hits Endeavor as Shigaraki goes flying off trying to get to Aizawa, while Shigaraki says out loud, saying, "Finally, I'm about to clear this stupid game," as Shigaraki manages to grab Aizawa's face and like digging into Aizawa's face on the forehead section. And he's just gonna basically rip the face off and killing Aizawa. But before he could do that, on the next page we see that before that, we on the next page we see that Shigaraki is basically stopped by a giant ice ball, and we all know who that is who finally showed up. And it's revealed on the next page is Totoro, Shoto Todoroki finally managed to make it. And yeah, there was rumors that way before Midoriya left, and Midoriya and Bakugo did leave. Oh, there. Oh, now it's making sense. So, yeah, Shoto shows up and he says, "Sensei," as we have Shigaraki's inner monologue saying, "Back there." As we go back in time for those three weird lights from before Bakugo and Midoriya were left the group to lure Shigaraki away. The third light was, yeah, people were talking about the third light about coming in to helping them out, and it turns out to be Shoto Todoroki. So some people thought it was yeah, some people thought that that third light from back then was oh god, I don't remember. So according to I god damn it. So the theories were about that third person. Some of the hardcore readers thought that the third light was either were going towards Shoto or Uraka helping out. And basically, with Shoto's help, we see that a badass Midoriya is still angry and pissed about having Gran Torino basically dead. Or we don't know if he's probably dead or not, but it's most likely Gran Torino's dead. As Midoriya uppercuts Shigaraki in the stomach as revenge for the previous punch, having the elbow in the stomach as he does his most badass punch while going through the ice. So on the next page, we see more of Shoto's ice wall just smashing into Shigaraki more, as we see the carnage of ice and snow. As we see Midoriya finally catching up to Aizawa, Grid, Lockdown, and Manuel as Midoriya says, Sensei, Sensei, and we see Aizawa. His eyes are closed, but I think he's pretty much alright at the moment. But with his eyes closed, that's not a good thing, as we quickly cut back to the fog as Shigaraki starts talking again, saying, "So, you protected him, so what? Delay the inevitable all you like. Destruction is all that awaits you."
Time to be rude. Vai Victus! Vai Victus!
As we see, Shigaraki's got all of his quirks and all the power he's got from All for One, so now Midoriya's kind of vulnerable at this point, so Midoriya has to get out of there right now, and now we have a fully powered up Shigaraki. Basically back to tip-top shape, and all that fight, all those previous chapters are basically pretty much all the damage is completely undone. And now our heroes are completely boned because we don't have Aizawa, and Endeavor's basically at his heat limit, so he's not going to be goddamn helpful. So they have to get out of there now
Well, we're boned.
before Nemesis Shigaraki basically slaughters them all and completes his ascension for getting One for All and All for One together again in one body and becoming a god, basically. But before we get rudely interrupted, we strangely cut back to Uraka and the support of the evacuation team, saying, and as we get oh, yeah. As we quickly we as soon as we get through to the next page, we strangely cut back to the evacuation group with Uraka, Ida, and Froppy, with Ida continuing saying, "Gah, I can't get in touch with Todoroki either. Not since he started. He dragged he dragged the lockdown boys back." With Froppy continues saying, "Seems like comm signals are down in a certain area." And Uraka continues saying, "I think we ought to go after them too." So they're thinking about helping out Midoriya with Shigaraki. So they're going to might die if they go there. But we get random people interrupting this and saying, "Whoa, what the? The news alert can't be real. What's going on in this country?" And Ida interrupts saying, may we listen in?" As we quickly cut to one of the evacuees' phones with the news article kicking in saying, "Begin evacuating the affected areas." As on the next page, the news bulletin continues saying, "I repeat, a supermassive villain is currently making a beeline directly north from Mount Gunga, Gungaka, Gunga. Wait, supermassive. Oh god, no. Don't tell me. No, no. They put the sleeping drug in him. How is he still moving? If Horikoshi states that. Oh, for God's sake. If it's who I think it is, and it's probably going to be revealed next week, the sleeping drug plan was completely pointless. Oh god. In Wakamayama, preferred to Jaku City in the greater Kyoto region. The villain's predicted route will take him through Mino City, Kagun City, Nipro City, Hondo City, Musu City, Horozu City, Karadu City, Karada City, Karamari City, Sunra City, Haru City, Sotoro City, Shudo City, Anoto City, Dendo City, Ota City, Asabra City, Nabato City, Kawa City, Kohara City. As we see the carnage of destruction, and more of the heroes are basically dead at this point. And Uraraka pieces together in her shocked face, saying, "Most heroes are away for this mission, right?" As we see on the next page, we get a full double page spread of the carnage, as we see the armored version of Giga, still alive and well, and still moving, even though with the sleeping drugs in his mouth,
Come on!
is still on the rampage. And if Horikoshi brings up the next, and that's the next chapter, and the next chapter will be September 6th. And if Horikoshi brings up if the sleeping drugs don't even work on Giga, because that whole redemption of Red Riot thing was completely pointless. We saw Red Riot throwing the sleeping drug. He should have gone to sleep by now. And we see And we also see Giga in his full armored form, and yeah, he's going to be basically a giant juggernaut, just basically destroying everything. And if I think he's sleeping drug proof, that's just, come on, Horikoshi, give our heroes a little victory. I'm just saying, man. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter, and this is just basically telling us, yeah, the heroes' chances of victory are basically plummeted to trash, and all of our heroes are about to get their royally asses beaten by Giga and Shigaraki at this point. So yeah. So yeah, our heroes are basically screwed, and we won't find out, hopefully, if the sleeping drug will even work on Giga until the 6th. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I will see you on the next chapter. So yeah, I hope our heroes actually survive this. So until then, bye for now.